Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage, friends. Chadwick with you again for another installment of the Auto Experience series. Today, we find ourselves in a very rad 1992, I think it is, Geo Metro LSI Convertible. Probably hearing a good amount of wind noise because I know I am. Everything about this car is kind of fun, like a review of a, shiny, bright blue little convertible with a giant pasty werewolf driving it around. That's funny in itself. But why are we reviewing this car? And what the heck is a Geo? Let's go back in history a little bit. Geo, which fell under GM, was kind of a celebration, if you will. No celebration. Basically, Geo was a rebadging operation for a lot of foreign vehicles being sold by GM. Some other notable Geos are the Geo Prism, which is a Toyota Corolla. There is the Geo Storm, which is an Isuzu Impulse. The Geo Tracker, which is a Suzuki Sidekick. And then, of course, the Geo Metro, which we're driving, is also a Suzuki Swift. Geo went away quite a while ago, so it's kind of cool to still be in one of these. But the Metro is a car that probably wouldn't exist today if there wasn't a financial crisis in 2008. Those of you viewers that are of the elder variety, myself being a 40-plus year old, we remember 2008. The economy collapsed, gas prices were expensive, we didn't have a lot of extra money. Fuel economy cars became the in thing. And one of those cars was the Geo Metro. That's probably where they saw their highest values. People were paying good money. We're talking upwards of $5,000 for cars that previously were valueless, that were going for $500, $750, in various condition. So that's kind of neat. That kind of gave the Metro a leg to stand on, brought it back into the light, made it relevant, and that's probably why we still see some around today. The fuel economy is ridiculous. So I think without the economic crisis at that period, boy, the Geo Metros probably would have just completely faded into obscurity. Now the convertible that we're in today, as you can see the beautiful air around us, very cool car. Now this car was never meant to be sporty or have even sporty intentions or even know what the word sporty roughly means. The Geo Metro Convertible, it's really just a cruise around town car, guys. On the highway, I've never felt something so unstable. We are talking an extremely lightweight, show the curb weight in the objective test, but I'll let you know it is by far the lightest car I've ever weighed on this channel. And power-wise, very much the least powerful car I've ever tested on this channel. So it took 2 accolades, I guess, in that testing. What was powering this sprightly little convertible? Well, you get a 1-liter displacement 3-cylinder, churning out about 55 horsepower on its best day ever. After that, it kind of falls off a little bit. So torque, about the same. I think it's a little less than 50, but hey, with natural engine variation from the factory, who knows? Yeah, as you can imagine, that lightweight didn't really impact it as much as you'd think. Power to weight ratio is still dependent on power, go figure. Didn't really have the power, but it moves pretty good. It gets out of its own way. This is a 5-speed manual, which inherently ups the fun factor. Let's be honest with each other. If this was an automatic, I probably wouldn't be as chipper as I am right now. But it is a super fun car. Like keeping it low speeds, I like it. Suspension setup, not that exciting either. Like I said, stability, not really one of its strengths. I think Geo really took the roof off and said, nah, it'll still work, right? I can honestly feel this car twisting, like the frame twisting as I go around a corner or try to hustle it too much. It's not confidence inspiring, that's for sure. The way to get a Geo Metro convertible disturbed in the corner is simply turn into the corner and the car will unsettle itself. Pretty amazing. But it's awesome. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You do not buy this as a canyon carver. You do not buy this as a commuter where you're going to do 80-mile-an-hour highway cruises. You're just going to buy it to enjoy it for what it is. It's super cheap to run, good fuel economy, looks cool. I mean, it's a very cool asterisk equals cute in this case. It's a very cute car, especially in this exciting competition blue. I had a good laugh with my friend who's letting me borrow this car, Frank. And we just, competition. Don't know where they came up with that word. Doesn't really apply to this car in any form whatsoever, but here we are. This particular car is about to be reviewed by Doug DeMuro on his channel and also be offered on his auction site, Cars and Bids. So if you like what you see with this review as I downshift 20 times to go up a slight hill, be sure to check out the auction. I'm going to be following it closely as I really do like this car. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of money it fetches. I don't know, guys. I don't know how much more I can talk about it. It's a lovely little car. I think we're going to have a blast in the canyons with it. Maybe. They're pretty cheap. Values of these cars, who knows? I've seen them, let's just say for decent running ones in good condition, $1,500 to maybe $5,000 can get you a pretty good one, probably the best one. So they're out there, very rare. They only made a few thousand per year, if I'm correct, and they only ran them for the early 90s. So you don't really see too many of the convertibles out there. Don't take the numbers too seriously on this one, guys. This is more of just an enjoy it car, and it is enjoyable for what it is. Let's get on to those objective tests. With the Metro Convertible hitting the scales, it was time to flex its greatest attribute, its lack of weight. This is the lowest curb weight I've ever tested on a car, much lower than the 2,100 pounds my stripped down NA Miata was. Front and rear balance here is pretty much the standard front engine configuration, with 60% of the weight being over the front. Smooth. All right. As I alluded to earlier, handling didn't make itself onto the attribute checklist when the Geo Metro was being manufactured. Chopping off the roof compromised rigidity, or the concept of even having rigidity, much further. The Metro Convertible can get overwhelmed by the most basic request for attempting to make it through a corner. Through this experience, I had to constantly remind myself that I was not in a Miata. In the canyons? Check. No roof? Check. A manual gearbox? Check. Discovering this while trying to throw the vehicle into a corner at a high rate of speed? Corner and grip and balance? No check. Pump the drum brakes, folks. Best to keep this cute little convertible on the city streets. To me, the Geo Metro Convertible looks great. It's so damn cute that you can't hide the big old grin you have when you're driving it. Neither can other motorists. Especially in this coat of competition blue. I know, competition isn't really a good fit here. The convertible top is fairly straightforward, but its accessories used to stow it away are flimsy at best. You're always just one competent wind gust away from losing it, and you constantly find yourself checking back there to make sure everything's still on board. Rad details worth mentioning on this convertible are the cute tricycle-sized tires. The awesome decals and pinstriping, still in fantastic shape. And the LSI badges to demonstrate that you're not driving a base model Metro like some kind of commoner.
This Metro's interior is in amazing condition overall, compared to most of the other survivors out there. Though they look fine, the materials were actually gathered to meet a very strict budget when this vehicle was built. And it shows. It's very gray and plastic laden in here. The main event in the interior are the seats. No, not for their comfort or sporty bolstering, but rather for their accent colors. The bright blue and non-eventful gray actually complement each other quite nicely. And that's all I've got to say about the Metro Convertible's interior. Engine. I considered skipping over this aspect of the car, much like the horsepower gods did. But let's give it a shot anyway. The 1-liter 3-cylinder power plant develops a claimed 52 horsepower. And even though it has an incredibly low curb weight of 1,700 plus pounds, this is simply not enough power to motivate this car. When the quarter-mile time is the same as the 0 to 60 time, you might want to look somewhere else for drag race thrills. I'm pretty sure if you put 15-inch wheels on this Metro Convertible, it'll actually fail to generate enough force to rotate them. Torque is like -2. Yes, a 5-speed manual. Hell no, it's not a good one, but we will take it into our open hearts with glee versus being stuck with the auto version. Shift throws are vague, except for second gear, which is very well defined by a grinding sound and notchy engagement. The gear ratios allow you to travel at almost highway speeds without redlining 5th gear. But it'll probably take around 10 minutes to get to 75 miles an hour, so I couldn't confirm this. Around town, the 5-speed manual does keep the Metro Convertible fairly fun. Is the Geo Metro Convertible too underperforming to actually be a fun car? I know I've been harshing the Metro's buzz this whole time with all its performance shortcomings. In truth though, I loved my time with this little dude. With the Metro Convertible, it's all about the intangibles coming together to make it a truly enjoyable machine. It's brimming with personality, and it never takes itself seriously. It loves leisurely jaunts into town on beautiful days, but loathes highway trips in the rain. It's mechanically simple and easy to maintain, making it a great second or weekend fun car. The Metro Convertible reminds us that automotive performance isn't everything. It's not the last word. And that a truly fun experience can come from an affordable yet unique machine. I love you, little Metro Convertible. Go forth and deliver tons of smiles.